Hi, I'm back to talk to you about the Smith & Wesson M&P15 Sport Model AR-15 platformed rifle. If you've seen any of my other videos, you've seen that I've done one on an M&P15 22, which is the 22 caliber long rifle AR platformed by Smith & Wesson. This model here is the Sport model. It comes in a standard cardboard box, just like the old 22 M&P version. It comes with your paperwork, your warranty, your safety manual, and a gun lock. This also is the rifle right here. We'll check to see if it is safe. There's nothing in the chamber. There's nothing down the barrel. We deem the weapon safe. It is unsafe. As you can tell by this model right here, it is a carbine length AR-15 format. The barrel states it's a 5.56 NATO with a 1:8 5R lined barrel. Now that 5R style barrel is from the Thompson Firearms Company, which Smith & Wesson acquired. It's supposed to be held up better than chrome. It has a, I believe it's called a melanite coating on the barrel itself for durability, prevent scratches, heating up too bad. This rifle also comes with the standard handguards, which have just got the vented tops. This is not a quad rail. Now you can see there's some stuff already I put on there. This is something I decided to do instead of buying a quad rail, because quad rails can run starting off at $60 and up. I bought myself a lower rail offline from, I believe, cheaper than dirt for like $9. That you can just take off the handguard, bolt it to it, put it back on. I did the same thing for the top handguard. I bought myself a twin 45 angled mounts that I think were like $12 for the unit. It's all one unit, just mounts on top. As you can tell, I've already added a tactical flashlight to it. Like if you've seen any of my other videos, I like to go fairly cheap but still workable. This was a 3-pack from Home Depot of Cree light bulb LEDs. It's actually fairly bright. Good enough for the house and the driveway. I'm not trying to shoot some 300 yards down the street or something with this flashlight. This also comes with a standard A2 adjustable and removable rear sight. I've already removed it. Comes with a standard fixed mounted front sight. The post is adjustable, of course. Also has a bayonet lug. Now, you can put a bayonet on this thing, but the only problem is though the bayonet itself will be pretty far back, and the ring that sits on the barrel will be loose, so you'll have to either have it shimmed. The idea of that bayonet was to actually sit on your flash suppressor, because it's about the diameter of the flash suppressor and not the barrel. The first thing most people ask me about the Sport model is, what's the difference between this and the other AR-15? First thing you're going to notice that there's no dust cover over the bolt carrier. Second of all, you're going to notice that there's no forward assist. This is actually a deflector nub, or whatever you want to call it, for your shell casings. This is the same thing that's on the 22 version of this rifle. Now, some people ask you, what's the point of having all that stuff? Well, some people are nitpicks about it. They gotta have it. Some, say it's not a true AR-15 without it. Now, when Stoner developed the original M16 or the AR-15 for Colt, they didn't have a forward assist on their rifle. There's a groove in the bolt on the side here on most of the standard ARs where you can put your finger or your thumb and push the bolt forward. So in case you had a partial, not a full seat, you can push it forward and lock into place. So that was prior to the forward assist. That's what the development of that groove was for. This one here comes standard with the markings or the indentations for a forward assist. If you need this bolt into a forward assist rifle, it will work in that rifle. You can always change this upper and get one with a forward assist and dust cover on it, but why pay a couple $100s for that when you're going to have a perfectly great rifle as it is? Now, with the dust cover, I mean, realistically, most people are not going to need a dust cover. You're not going to be jumping in, in Afghanistan 24/7, 365 days a year and not have the opportunity to be able to clean your rifle when you get back to your base or your barrack. In the civilian world, we're not going to be doing most of that. We might be taking out doing some target shooting, some sport shooting, maybe going into some dirt, if you do fall into a swamp or something down here in Florida. But you're going to be able to go home and clean it without worrying about somebody coming shooting you, or you're not going to have to worry about being called out on a last-minute mission and not have your weapon prepared. So in the civilian world, it's really not needed. Some people are anal about having to have that dust cover. When I was in the service, we closed it, walked around with it. As soon as we had to go fire it, that thing pops open and stays open the whole time you're using it. We never closed it after once it opened. Once we got back to the barracks, we might have closed it, so that way we just cleaned it. We don't want nothing to get into it for inspection. Otherwise, half the time, our dust cover was always open. Forward assist, I probably used it 2 or 3 times in the service when I was in the Army. You know, they teach you the sport method. You know, well, half the time it was either injection failure, it wouldn't seat all the way, or whatever. But I mean, I probably maybe 2 or 3 times, and I was putting a lot more rounds downfield in the military than I do now. That is the 2 basic things that a lot of people notice on this rifle. Otherwise, everything else on this thing is interchangeable with any AR-15 platform rifle. The savings that Smith & Wesson made by not putting those on there rolls down to the end user like you and me. The price point on this rifle is anywhere from $5.99 is the lowest I've seen it, all the way up to $7.99. Now, it gets creeping toward, you know, $800. I would be kind of like, well, you know, if I'm going to pay $800, I want with a full flat top, quad rail setup, fully tactical setup, and not the sport model like this. So if you can find it for anywhere from like $700 down, you're getting a hell of a rifle. First of all, it's a Smith & Wesson. It's warranted for, it's a lifetime warranty on it. It's made in the USA, so it's backed by a great manufacturer. I own several Smith & Wesson firearms. I've never had an issue. Now this rifle also comes with one Pro Mag, P-Mag, 30-round magazine, which is polymer. A lot of armed forces guys are using these now. They're pretty durable, they're easy to clean. This one's actually loaded with American Eagle 223 rounds, 55 grain. At the moment, I went down to see a buddy of mine at the gun store. He had a bunch of these old GI issued metal ones, 30-round magazines, for $11.97. I figured, you know, what the heck, for that price, I might as well pick up 2 and see how they work. With the Remington, or with the 223 Remingtons in it, fired flawless, no issues at all. With 55 grain full metal jackets. This is the Russian ammo, WPA, which is the Wolf performance ammo. This has actually got a polymer steel case shell or casing, and this is actually a 62 grain full metal jacket. A little bit heavier, a little bit more powerful, a little more punch to it. No issues at all. And I shot several hundred rounds. You can buy them dirt cheap. I think I bought a box of 20 was $3.99 online at a discount website. So I bought a couple hundred rounds for like $39.99. Otherwise, you know, I've added a red dot. You've seen on my other videos how I have mine already set up on a high rise or a riser mount. So it's just pop it on and off just like that, and you are good to go. That is basically the M&P15 Sport model. It's a great rifle, fires great, easy to clean. Disassemble on this thing is amazingly easy. If anybody's ever had an AR-15, they know how easy an AR-15 is to disassemble. Upper and lower receiver pins on these do not come fully out unless you, I guess, have to have them smithed out or something. But yeah, everything here is solidly built, all backed by Smith & Wesson. So I mean, that is your Smith & Wesson M&P15 Sport model. Great little rifle. Go get you one.